Okay, do you feel like you're at the end of your rope? I mean, like, do you feel like the month is coming, the end of the month is coming, and you don't have enough money? Are you tired of feeling like you're always fighting to keep things together? Well, if you feel like that, and if you don't know what to do next, I have good news for you. I'll tell you exactly what to do next. And I thought about this earlier because I've been there before, not knowing how I was going to get the money. I've been at the end of my rope before. And I realized there were four things. If I had to go back to that time and tell my old self that, there are four things that I would tell myself to do if I was at that point. And these four things are going to help get you out of your situation, but not just out of your situation, into the position of abundance. And that's what we want. So if I was at the end of my rope, what would I do? The first thing that I would do is I would learn the concept of how to focus my thoughts. Do you know what focus your thoughts means? It means to understand how to meditate. All right, so that's the first thing, right? I would meditate. Now, I remember I said that meditate means to focus your thoughts. What does that really mean? The ability to look at something with your own mind, to focus your thoughts on what's right instead of what's wrong. I know that the world seems to be crashing down on you right now, but there is something that you can focus your thoughts on that is good. You can find something. Again, when I was at the end of my rope, the only thing that I could think of, or the first thing that I could think of, was I love the color blue. So I started looking at the blue sky every single day that it wasn't cloudy. And I started focusing my thoughts on what was right or what was good or what I liked. It was the blue sky. And then I had this tree in front of my house. And I love the tree. I started focusing on the tree. And so what I started doing is I started meditating or focusing my thoughts. Meditate comes from the Greek word meditare, which means to focus your thoughts. I started focusing on what was right in my life instead of what was wrong in my life. And I started understanding the power of a positive meditation or positive thought focusing. That's the very first thing that I would do. Because look, when you're at that point, it's the feeling that's the problem. See, a lot of times when we're at that point, it might be 3 days from now, it might be 5 days from now. We might have gotten the eviction notice, but we haven't been evicted. So it feels as if the thing that we don't want to happen is happening. And so somehow, some way, we have to change our focus off of that thing onto something that we like and onto something that we desire. Because if we can focus our thoughts, then we can change the direction of our life. So that's the first thing I would understand, and I would figure out how to meditate or how to focus my thoughts onto something that is good, something that I like. And that's number one. Number two is I would make affirmations, or I would affirm. Now listen, you got to understand what affirmations mean. And I know a lot of you have heard of making positive affirmations or positive confessions. And some of you are like, man, those things don't work. I've tried that. I've tried saying I'm rich. I've tried saying I am healthy. I've tried saying I am abundant. I've tried those things, but it doesn't seem like it works. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work. See, that's why I always say that meditation comes first, because a lot of us, especially when we're in situations like you might be in right now, we have these negative meditations, but then we try to make positive affirmations, and these two cancel each other out. That's exactly what happens. That's why a lot of times affirmations do not work, because look, let's look at the word affirmations. Look at the last four letters, affirm. It's supposed to make something firm. That's what an affirmation or an affirmation is supposed to do. It's supposed to make something firm. So when we have a positive meditation, then we can have positive affirmations, or we can make those very same thoughts that we've been thinking firm in our minds. That's the second process, or the second step. If I was at the end of my rope, I would do that. So I would start out by making positive affirmations, or positive meditation, excuse me. I would think about things that were enjoyable in my life, that were fun in my life, that were good in my life, the color blue, like I said earlier. And then I would start speaking positive words. I'm so thankful for the color blue. I'm so thankful for the little bit that I have. I'm so thankful for what I have. I'm so thankful for my family, for my kids, for my children. I'm so thankful. I would start start saying these words and I'll say, you know what? I am abundant. I do live in this country. I can walk out. I am healthy. I can do things. So I would just start saying the things, because here's what happens, and listen to me, and I want you to get this. So we're going to do an exercise together. On the count of 3, I want you to count to 10 in your mind. So don't say it out loud. I want you to count to 10 in your mind when I say go. Okay, when I say go, not on the count of 3. When I say go, count to 10 only in your mind. Ready, set, go. Now say your name. Okay, so listen, what happened? So when I said count to 10 in your mind, you heard a voice. 99 times out of 100, you heard your own voice talking to you inside of your mind. But then when I said say your name, your physical voice, it overrode your internal voice. So that's why affirmations are so important, because what ends up happening is sometimes, have you ever felt like you just can't stop the negative thoughts? I've been there, I was there last night. So when that happens, we have an overriding mechanism, and that's our physical voice. And we start saying those positive affirmations that have been in conjunction with the positive meditations that we've had before. So even though the positive meditation might not be possible, you can override it. You can override the negative thoughts. You can override the negative recording that goes on in your mind over and over and over again with words. That's why affirmations or physical words or spoken words are so important, because listen to this, every word spoken by you is also spoken to you. I'll say that one more time. Every word spoken by you is also spoken to you. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I would do, and this is probably the most powerful, this is probably the one that will change your life faster than anything, is I would understand or learn how to visualize. Okay, so this right here to me is the secret sauce to life. My life has changed strictly because of my visualization or imagination. We can use those synonymously. So imagination. All right, so visualize. So here's the deal. Visualization, and let me explain what visualization is. Visualization just means to make a mental movie of what you've been meditating and affirming. But to be quite honest, when you get really good at these two, the visualization happens automatically. Oh, how do I know this? Because think of a messed up situation that's going on in your life right now, just for a second. Doesn't that thing, you can't help but think about it. And then you start talking about it like, oh my God, I really don't want this to happen. And then what happens? Can't you see the actual outcome happening even though it hasn't even happened? Yeah, that's what happens. You know what that is? That's called visualization. So a lot of times we meditate on the negative, we affirm the negative, and then we automatically visualize the negative, and man, that creates a negative feeling, and that creates a negative result. So we got to change that. We got to understand how to meditate positively, visualize, affirm positively, and then create a positive visualization. A visualization, a positive one, is a mental movie of what you've been affirming and meditating. For example, my mental movie is I love cars. I love Lamborghinis to be exact. And so my mental movie that I replay over and over and over in my mind is me taking my daughters to get ice cream one at a time in my Lamborghini SVJ Roadster in balloon white with a license plate on the back that says easy with 3 E's with bronze Anarchy rims. And we go to Andy's Ice Cream Shop in Alpharetta, Georgia. My youngest daughter gets strawberry ice cream while I'll get the strawberry shortcake, and then I drop her back off at home and pick up my other daughter, and she gets caramel ice cream and I get butter pecan with her. That is my positive visualization. And do you see the detail in that? Do you see the fun in that? A visualization, a positive visualization should always be enjoyable and fun. Always, every single time. And never, ever, ever, listen to me, never visualize and discount. See, can I get a Lamborghini right now, an SVJ Roadster? Well, I mean, unless somebody gives him one, but I don't, as of right now, don't have the physical funds in order to purchase one outright. It doesn't matter though, because my dreams, I can dream with absolute abundance. Please do not dream in discount. I don't dream about driving just a nice car. I dream about or visualize driving the car that I want. So what is all this for? Why would I say, if I was at the end of my rope, why would I do this? Because what happens when you put all of these three things together, okay? What it does is our bodies, we emit, some people say, a frequency, a vibration, an energy, a consciousness. To me, it doesn't matter. So you can say they're all synonymous. So what happens is when we do these things on the negative, it causes a negative feeling. Okay, so our feeling, our vibes, our vibration, our frequency, whatever you want to call it, it goes down this way when we do these things on the negative. When we do these things on the positive, it goes up this way. So here's the thing. What the things that you desire in life, your good dreams, aspirations, they're on a certain frequency or a certain vibration or a certain energy pattern. They're just on a certain plane, and that you have to go and hit that plane first. So, but the things you don't want are also on a certain plane. It's just like listening to the radio. And have you, when I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, if I want to hear R&B, I listen to 104.1 FM. Now look, on that station is going to be that music. But if I want to listen to country music and I start dialing into 104.1, well, I'm not going to hear no country music. I'm going to hear R&B. I got to go to 97.9 to hear country music. So the things that we want are on a certain frequency. Your good desires are on this upward consciousness frequency. Your messed up desires are the things that you don't want are on a lower frequency. And do you know the tuning fork, or do you know how we signal our frequency? It's by feelings. You have to understand, your feelings draw to you the things that you want in life, or draw you to it. It's feelings, period. So with all that being said, if I had to change, if I was at my last rope, I would meditate. I would find something positive that I could focus my thoughts on. I would affirm. I would learn positive affirmations, start saying words to override the negative thoughts. And then I would learn the process of visualization, making a mental movie of the things that I desire. My Lamborghini SVJ Roadster in balloon white with bronze anarchy rims with a license plate that says easy on the back of it with 3 E's. All right, so, and then what that does is that creates a certain feeling. And that feeling gives off a certain frequency. And that frequency we either go up in this conscious level or go down in this conscious level, depending on if we're positive or negative with these feelings. And whatever is on these levels, that's what we receive, or that's what will be brought to in life. So if you're at the end of your rope and you feel like that you just can't go on, or you feel like you don't know what to do next, I'm telling you, try this out. It'll change your life. And now look, for me, if you want more help on this, because I am a coach, and I do coach this stuff all the time. I have changed my life and other people's lives just strictly by getting people to change their feelings and imaginations and coaching them how to do that. So here's what I always do. I do have a coaching course, and it is an online course, and it's $500. And I always say this, that I'm the only coach out there that proves my methods before I start. If you want to sign up for my coaching and you want to pay the $500 and take the courses, then they're all on my website. You can just go to my website, which is right here. I'll put it down in the description, and we can get started. But if you say, hey, prove your methods first, if you write me on my website, I will give you exact instructions of what to do. There are certain things to do that will get you your $500 from seemingly nowhere. And then you'll be inspired. At that moment, when you get that $500, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this actually worked. I need to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. And then you'll sign up and you'll just text me or you'll type me, you proved it, and then we'll get started. Anyway, guys, so that's me. If I had anything else to do, if I was at my last rope, I would do these three things right here. Trigger my feelings, make my feelings trigger a signal. and let life unfold itself to me. Anyway, my name is Andre Fluellen, otherwise known as Flu, and like always, life is easy. Love you guys.